Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Kindly do subscribe my channel before end of the video. Today topic is about PPE types of production hazards and standards. Types of productions, typical hazards, relevant BS and EN standards. High production, potential health and safety effects if production not worn. Blindness, eye injuries, restricted vision and eye strain, arc eye. So typical hazards that can cause the effects. Chemicals, liquids, gases, molten metal, and hot solid short circuit, electrical, direct sunlight, laser beams, airborne dust, large small particles, flying particles can cause the effects if failure to warn the eye protection. So what are the relevant BS and ES standards to be considered when we purchasing the eye protection? BS 2092, BS EN 166 349B standards we should consider when we purchasing the eye protection. So head protection, potential health and safety effects if head protection fail to warn. Head injuries, sunburn, cut, braces fracture, and consciousness, unconsciousness. So, what are the typical hazards? Folly objects, striking objects, sunlight, restricted views can cause the effect if we fail to warn the head protection. What are the relevant standards to be considered when we purchase the head protection? EN 397 we must consider when we purchasing the head protection. Hearing protection, potential health and safety effects if protection not worn. Hearing damage, noise induced hearing loss, increased stress level, communication problems. Typical hazards that can affect the effect if failure to warn the hearing protection. High noise level, low frequency noise level, mid frequency noise level, high frequency noise level, high impact noise level. So when we purchase the hearing protection, we must consider the BS and EN standard. EN 352-1, EN 352-2, EN 352-3. We must consider when we purchasing the hearing protections. So another one is respiratory protection, potential health and safety effects if protection not worn. Upper tract respiratory problems, lower tract respiratory problems, asthma, and toxic poisoning, various health effects, viral infection. So harmful dust, inhalable dust, respiratory dust, toxic dust, and gases, liquids and solids, microbiological vapor and fumes uh, that can affect if we fail to warn the respiratory protection. What are the relevant BSEN standards to be considered when we purchase the respiratory protection? EN 19149 standard we must consider, PREN 140, EN 405 standard we must consider when we purchase the respiratory protections. Food protection, potential health and safety effects if protections not worn. Food injuries can cause an amputation, burns, a biological infection, blood poisoning, fractures, cut. Typical hazard, falling objects that can cause injuries, sharp objects and piercing objects, cements, oils, contaminated land, chemicals, water, mud and uneven grounds that can affect if we fail to warn the food production. What are the relevant BS and EN standards to be considered when we purchase the food productions? BS EN 345 and 346 standards to be considered when we purchase the food productions. Hand productions. Potential health and safety effects if production not worn. Hand injuries, general cuts, laceration and burns and poor dexterity and grip due to cold weather. Typical hazards: sharp objects, abrasives, wheels and chemicals, oil, cements, wood dust, cold, heat, weather and water can affect if we fail to warn the hand protection. What are the BS and EN standards to be considered when we purchase the hand protection? EN 420 standards to be considered when we purchase the hand protection. Type of protection: high visibility clothing, potential health and safety effects if protection not worn, hurting, collision and fractures, unconsciousness and death. And typical hazards that cars and mobile equipment, heavy equipment, which can uh, cause the effect and invisible of workers and during the night works. Relevant BS standards, BN standards to be considered when we purchase the high visibility clothes. EN 471 class 3 standards to be considered when we purchase the high visibility clothing. Skin protection coverall. Potential health and safety effects if protection not worn. Burning while welding, chemical contact with skins, cut injuries. Typical hazards: chemical handling, welding, painting works, grinding, cements, woods, dust and machine cuts. What are the relevant standards to be considered when we purchase the skin protection? EN 11611 standards, EN 11612 standard, EN ISO 13688 standards to be considered when we purchase the skin protections. Finally, fall protection, full body harness, potential health effects if protection not worn, death, fracture and serious injuries. Typical hazard: working at height, edge, working at shaft, unguarded openings, fall from height. So, what are the uh, relevant standards to be considered when we purchase the full body harness? EN 361 2002, EN 358, EN 813 and EN 1497 standards to be considered when we purchase the fall productions. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching my video. See you with another video.